Hello, everybody, and welcome to your first training session, Code of Ethics and Conduct. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch the introductory video yet, please go back to the homepage, scroll all the way to the bottom, and click on the introductory video so you can get an idea of how these trainings are going to work. So for our first training, Code of Ethics and Conduct, you're going to need several things. You will need the packet called Code of Ethics and Conduct that looks like this. It's several pages long, and it's just for you to keep at home for your own records and refer to later when you need it. Then you will need the acknowledgement form, and you'll be signing this, acknowledging that you received that packet and that you're going to keep it at home for your own records. Additionally, you will need to complete the certificate at the end of this training video to certify that you have completed this training. It looks like this. And lastly, the activity that we'll be completing throughout this module to ensure participation and make sure that you guys have watched this video from beginning to end is a crossword puzzle. And it looks like this. It's called Code of Ethics and Conduct. And the answer to this activity will be scattered throughout this video. So this module is largely about our Code of Ethics and how the company would like our employees to conduct themselves. And I thought a great introduction to this module is a video by Brene Brown, who's a psychologist and a renowned author. She created this video because she found that empathy was relevant to many professions. And I think that empathy is relevant to our profession and anybody working for Palm Imaging and Empire Orthopedic Center. And I think that this will be a really great segue to this training module. So let's watch this video together.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here. And you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no. You want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. And we do it all the time, because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Okay, so I hope you all enjoyed that video. I have seen that video so many times, and I file it in the back of my mind, and I really pull from that video a lot when I work, and it's really helpful. I think that as healthcare professionals, no matter what position you have in this company, we are experiencing interactions with a lot of people who come to our center going through something very painful. And sometimes we can't always relate to what they're going through, But you just tell them, I don't know what it's like to go through what you're going through, but I'm just glad that I could be here with you and help you through this step of your journey. I think that it makes a big impact on them. So as you go through your career with Palm Imaging Institute and Empire Orthopedic Center, I hope that you remember this video and that it helps you be more successful in your workday. Also, as we go through this Code of Ethics and Conduct training module, I hope that you'll find a lot of connections between the message in this video and the message in our training module. So let's go through the training module together. I've created a PowerPoint in order to display the main points of this training module, and then you can go back at any time and read the packet that you received to keep at home. So let's go through the PowerPoint. Okay, Code of Ethics and Conduct. Our mission statement. In this packet, we have a mission statement for Palm Imaging and Empire Orthopedic Center, and it goes like this. We are committed to the care and improvement of human life. We provide high-quality healthcare to the communities that we serve. We care for our patients with kindness, compassion, and fairness. We affirm the unique and intrinsic worth of each individual. We pledge to treat one another with loyalty, respect, and dignity. So what's our mission? To care about improving human life by offering compassion, fairness, loyalty, respect, and dignity. Conduct. This code of conduct provides guidance to all employees and assists us in carrying out our daily activities with appropriate ethical and legal standards. So what's the definition of conduct? To carry out daily activities with appropriate ethical and legal standards. Leadership. This module spends a lot of time talking about leadership. So let's look at what it says. We expect our leaders to set the example. Supervisors need to create an environment where all team members are encouraged to raise concerns. Leaders must confront problems directly and candidly. Include your staff in decision-making. Give them the maximum responsibility and ensure that the talents of each team member are utilized to the maximum extent possible. Good leadership creates an environment where all team members are encouraged to raise concerns. Quality of care. At Palm Imaging and Empire Orthopedic Center, we care a lot about the quality of care that we're giving our patients. We treat all of our patients with warmth, respect, and dignity. Patient safety should be paramount. We aspire to a standard of excellence for all caregivers within the facility. So when you think about the word warmth, I don't know what you think about, but I think about being at home with a warm blanket, a good book, and the fireplace running. And that's sort of the feeling that we want to emulate for our patients. So what is warmth? It's a word that describes the way we treat our patients that makes them feel at home. Patient rights. We make no distinction in the availability of services based on age, gender, disability, race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin. Patients have the right to refuse care. So if you have a patient that doesn't want to receive the care for that day, stop immediately and let them leave. Treating a patient with the same respect, regardless of their diversity, preserves their rights. Referrals. We receive referrals from various outside physicians and medical offices. We do not, however, receive payment for referrals. We also do not accept payment for referrals that we make. So we do not pay for or accept payment for any referrals. Confidential information. Disclosure of confidential information could violate ethical and legal obligations. Now, in the next training module, we are going to discuss HIPAA, where we will go over confidential information in a lot more detail. Confidential information is also called sensitive information, and it covers virtually anything that is not publicly known. This could include personnel data, patient lists, patient identifiable information, patient financial information, credit card data, social security numbers, passwords, etc. Do not release information about patients or coworkers. Confidential information is also referred to as sensitive information. Electronic media. Here at Palm Imaging and Empire Orthopedic Center, we have various forms of electronic media that we utilize throughout the day. Business electronic devices and services must be used for business purposes only. Assume no expectation of privacy in anything created, stored, or sent on a business electronic device or service. Encrypt patient data that is sent over electronic media. Do not send malicious or obscene materials via electronics. You are not permitted to share or disclose any user accounts. Controlled substances. Some employees have access to prescription drugs and controlled substances. These substances must not be solicited inappropriately, and any violations must be reported. We maintain a drug and alcohol-free work environment. Cultural diversity. So if you look around at the communities that we serve and the surrounding areas, you will see a lot of cultural diversity. And here at Palm Imaging and Empire Orthopedic Center, we maintain a setting in which we celebrate cultural diversity and differences. You should not discriminate in regard to race, color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, genetic information, or veteran status. So what's diversity? It's another word for cultural differences, and we celebrate this at Palm Imaging and Empire Orthopedic Center. Environmental compliance. Adhere to the requirements for proper handling of hazardous materials. Properly dispose of medical waste by using the proper bins. Consult with your department supervisor to find out where the nearest medical waste basket is located. Dispose of medical waste bins in appropriate areas and always use Sharps containers. If you're not aware of where the nearest medical waste bin is, please ask your supervisor and have them show you where the nearest bin is so that you can use it properly. Reporting concerns. We encourage the reporting and resolution of issues. Each employee has an individual responsibility for reporting any activity by any colleague, physician, subcontractor, or vendor that appears to violate an applicable law, rule, regulation, accreditation, standard of medical practice, federal health care condition, or code. There is no retribution or discipline for anyone who reports a concern in good faith. So if you like the training video, the introductory video at the beginning of this training, here's the link to it if you'd like to watch it again. Okay, so that concludes our training for Code of Ethics and Conduct. So the last thing you need to do is sign your certificate of completion, fill out your Code of Ethics and Conduct activity, and turn everything into your department manager. Thanks for following along with this training, and I'll see you in the next one.